Finally, the Z army was dispersed from Robotyne. A very major battle in the east is coming very soon. Wagner decided to join Kadyrov Chechens, and Russians are bringing back Gulag. But more about all of this in just a couple of minutes. What's up, investors? It's the Russian dude. And let's get straight to the point and talk about some ridiculous Russian propaganda. Yeah, boy! Yes, today daughter is not yet sleeping, so I was able to extract the... Okay, so yeah, I don't know why I explain myself every time, but doesn't matter. Okay, Andrei Gurulev. You probably know this guy of the Russian authorities. He was making some extremely ridiculous statements in the past, such as, for example, those 20% of Russians who do not support Putin, they should not even be kept inside Russia. They should not even exist. I'm just trying to be as politically correct as possible. Well, he did not face any consequences for this statement, however bad it sounds, and well, he decided to proceed further. He said that, okay, maybe I was a little bit extraordinary, maybe I was a little bit too harsh. Let's not disappear these 20% Russians. Instead, let's bring back gulags, he said, and let's put these people to a good old-fashioned hard labor. And just guys, once again, please be careful. Do not confuse that this is not the discreditation of the Russian people, but if you do say we should stop the war, or if you're wearing something yellow with a blue background, in this case, yes, in the eyes of Russian authorities, you're discrediting the Russian army. So in the first case, whenever you're saying that people should be sent to Gulag, it's all good. But if you wear yellow clothes, you might actually face some criminal charges. Well, this is Putin's Russia for you. And by the way, speaking about the clothes, if you remember last week I did mention that the comment with the most likes will appear on my next t-shirt, and well, there it is. Russia is the only army which advances backwards. Congratulations, this comment is now appearing on our merch, on t-shirts, mugs, phone cases, and even pines, glassware, everything for you. Just go ahead and check it right now. It is all already available for you guys to order. The link to my merch store is down below, and Patreons are getting 20% discount. So yes, once again, go ahead and check, please, guys. All the links are down below. And so yeah, well, jokes aside, literally, time to get serious, as much as it gets whenever we talk about Chechens and Wagner, because this is exactly what we're gonna talk about right now very quickly, and then we're gonna switch our attention to the upcoming major battle, and then Russians are being literally exiled from Robotyne. So yeah, speaking about Wagner and Chechens, right here is the video with one of commanders of Wagner private military company sitting with the representative of Kadyrov Chechens, and they're basically saying that right now they do have an alliance, now they're cooperating and working together. At least 3,000 Wagner representatives are expected to join Kadyrov Chechen forces, including one of its most prominent commanders, this one in particular with the code name Ratibor. And if you thought that, I don't know, Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo playing together is the collaboration of the century, well, now you have Wagner and Kadyrov Chechens working side by side. How about that? Right, now let's quickly talk about the frontline update from the east and the south. And guys, I have to confess, yesterday for my last video, again, I was working almost until 6 AM trying to change everything, trying to censor stuff, remove chapters, and just all this kind of ridiculous stuff in order for YouTube to finally accept my video and not put restrictions. I barely was able to do it. And I just came up with the idea, well, YouTube gives us ridiculous requirements to follow. So what if we just respond with ridiculous actions? So instead of me saying Russians and Ukrainians, well, since I'm apparently making content for kids, let's make it like this. So this will represent Russian army, this will represent Ukrainian army. Let's see how it goes. I mean, if YouTube censors this as well, then literally I will be out of options. And if you think that this is a creative solution to existing YouTube problem, or a ridiculous one, can you guys please just simply like this video and subscribe to my channel? So I'm playing with my daughter's toys right here. Well, I guess why not? You can also follow me on Instagram. At this point I'm pretty much daily posting some deaths stories. The link to my Instagram is down below. And so yes, first of all, in Donetsk region a Russian combat machine was driving, and it has all this full barbecue protection on top, and Ukrainians did like this to this machine, so it became immobilized. Next we have videos from Ivanovsky and Krasnohorivka, which pretty much exactly identical situation happened. Russians found a house and they decided to camp inside. Well, Ukrainians used some like this, so it was like flying and then all the way, and well, those Russian soldiers, they just simply fell asleep. Our next stop brings us to Toninki, where Russians were riding one of their vehicles and Ukrainians did like this, and so pretty much that's it. And then Ukrainians themselves were driving Bradley also in Toninki, and then the position of Russians also like this fell asleep. And just in general, as you can see from this picture, which combines a lot of photos from around Toninki region, there is a lot of Russian vehicles which are now upside down and no longer functional. Another video which comes to us a little bit more from the south, from Avdiivka. This is where anti-Putin forces, specifically Russian volunteer corps, they were holding their positions, and then there was a lot of advancing Russians, and then those anti-Putin forces were able to like just and that's pretty much it. Avdiivka was protected. And by the way, this particular video is pretty much an entire mini documentary, so I decided to share it with you guys completely for free because the weekend is coming, so you might want to watch it. It is once again completely for free on my Patreon, guys. Please go ahead and check, the link is down below. This is the best way to support the channel, and just once again, for this merch which is already released right now, Patreons will get 20% off. Guys, thanks so much, the link is down below. And ultimately to the west of Bakhmut, reportedly at least 15 different vehicles of Russians started approaching another city called Chasiv Yar, and Ukrainians are still trying to not let them advance as much as they can. But unfortunately, Russians are able to just slowly push Ukrainians away, gaining a little bit more land. And this settlement, Chasiv Yar, you already pretty much know about this. It is located once again a little bit higher geographically. So this side which controls it gets a little bit more advantage in the next offensive. And so once again, unfortunately, looks like that Russians are getting closer and closer at this moment at the outskirts of Chasiv Yar. So the next major battle in the east is coming very soon. It will happen, so Ukrainians, they should prepare to defend as much as they can. And now, let's finally switch our attention to the south of Ukraine and talk about pretty extraordinary events. But the most extraordinary news from the south is that it looks like that Russians are finally dispersing from Robotyne, because right here is the message of one of the relatives of the Z soldiers who is looking for his, once again, relative. He is basically saying that the very last message he received was that he just got lost in a fog. And I'm like literally just quoting, so he was speaking on the phone and said like, it's so much fog, I cannot see you, you are breaking up. And then the connection was lost forever. And then even this picture shows a small company of the Z soldiers also in Robotyne, and those people who are circled, they are also apparently were lost in fog of. The future destiny, the future story of these people is still uncertain, but we can assume that since this is a very foggy night, most likely they just fell asleep. So yeah, guys, as you can see, this is going pretty ridiculous to say the least, but yeah, if in one way or another you did enjoy it, hopefully please subscribe to my channel. I will appreciate this a lot. Also, don't forget about our merch. By the way, I personally designed it. We have iPhones, Samsung cases, t-shirts, mugs, glassware. I will appreciate it so much if you decide to buy something. And once again, don't forget there is a 15% discount, and Patreons get 20% off. Go ahead and check my Patreon, website, merch. All the other links are down below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and see you on Tuesday.